Hello everyone and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our August 27th, 2019 show, gone back in time, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including what's happening with the upcoming Titans Season 2. We're going to be talking Young Justice Outsiders, Supergirl, we've got comic books, we've got so much more to get through. And we'll also be turning to you to take your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss. And to let you know how all that works and how you can get involved in tonight's show, let me introduce you to my co-host, the man sitting next to me but on the other side of the world, Mr. Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Going well.
Oh, man. End of the month already.
Yep.
Where did the time go? Now, since WGBS Live is all about Superman, we want to hear from the Superman fans that are watching us live on YouTube. So around the halfway mark of the show, and if we don't have a lot going on, which this week I think we actually do have a lot going on, we'll try to take your calls. To do this, you'll need Skype. Get on Skype, find Superman homepage, and message us that you'd like to join in the show. Now, there's two things you need to know about this. One, I don't need that in both ears. So there's three things you need to know. One, I don't need that in both ears. Two, message us. Don't just call, please. And three, if you have external speakers playing, please turn those down as we are on a slight delay and that screws things up.
Yes, exactly. So that's how you get to be involved in tonight's show. For those of you tuning in live via YouTube to watch tonight's show, we invite you to join in and chat with other people who are watching. You can comment. You can ask questions. We'll have a look at those and we'll react to them as the show goes on. And a huge thank you to our sponsor and patron, Douglas Meacham. Now, if you'd like to sponsor this show or the Superman homepage, you can head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. We appreciate your support. Well, Mike, you're taking time off work, but it sounds to me like you're actually busier than ever because you're setting up for DragonCon and a number of panels and things you'll be part of.
Oh, yeah. I had to finalize all the presentations. I'm giving nothing Superman related this year. Okay. Because they don't really have a whole lot on the docket since it's Batman's 80th anniversary. Right. There's a lot of Batman stuff. But Superman, unfortunately, is taking the back seat, which, he doesn't mind. He's got shoulders enough to pay for that. But, yeah, wow, it's we're not staying in town this year, so I had to get everything done way ahead of time because I don't have a hotel room to go hide in.
Oh, okay.
And finish things up like I did, in previous years. So, but yeah, it's just, when you're on vacation, you do all the things that you didn't do when you were working regularly. So it's almost like I was busier today than I normally was. So
I know the feeling.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wish you well. I hope everything goes as planned and that the con is a huge success and that the panels run smoothly and that all the planning that you're doing, all the PowerPoint files just work like that.
They should. It's a fun time. It's a gauntlet, but we're gonna get through it. But you're about to go on holiday too, so you're probably rushing around and getting all last minute stuff done as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'll announce it now as well as at the end of the show. But I am taking off, heading to Europe for a bit of a tour, and so we won't have a show for probably about a month. We're going to look to take a little bit of a break while I'm away, give you a break, and we'll be back on October 1st. So no shows in September, but we will catch you up on everything that's happened through that time in what will be a blockbuster return show on Tuesday the 1st of October. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to have Supergirl coming back around that time
That's
too.
Right.
So it's almost like we're going on our own hiatus.
Yes, mid-season break.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you'll miss us, everybody. Take a vacation from us, actually. We will, we'll miss doing this show, but I'm sure Mike will appreciate the time off, and I'll be jet-setting around. So we'll be back 1st of October. But we've got a show to do for tonight. So let's start with that, and as we like to do, there is some movie news. Well, if you're in the Sioux Falls area of South Dakota, there is a free screening of Superman the movie taking place this Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. at Fowick Park, located at 2nd Avenue between 10th and 11th Street in Sioux Falls. It's a Moonlight Movies part of that program they've got going on there at the what is it? What are they calling it? I don't know where it is. Just at that particular location. So it's obviously an outdoor screening area. Moonlight Movies, Sioux Falls, Superman the film on the big screen, out in the open.
God, I hope it doesn't rain. But other than that, it should be a fun night. That's I've never been to one of those, movies outside type things. So I'm not quite sure how. It's
like a bit of a picnic atmosphere. You take your own blanket, your own lawn chair or whatever it is. You sit out there on the grass with your own kind of bottle of wine and some nibblies and crackers and chips and what have you, and sit and watch the movie with other people relaxing on the grass.
Oh, I guess that would be fun. I'm trying to be more of an outdoors person as I get older. Normally, I just like to sit in my own room.
There you go. So that's really the only movie news that we have, but that's pretty impressive if you're in the area and you want to see Superman the movie on the big screen in the outdoors. Yeah.
Vankman in the chat says, just going back to us taking a break, and during the month-long hiatus, several big Superman-related things will happen.
True.
Maybe this is how we get the movie announcement. We go on break.
That's it. Of course, that's going to happen. That as soon as we step away from doing this, something major is going to break, and everyone's going, was looking forward to seeing what Steve and Michael thought about that, and now we're going to have to, it'll happen. No doubt. Yeah. It always does. Or the website will go down and it won't, there'll be, some catastrophic, server issue. Something's going to happen.
Yeah. Either way, good times.
Yeah. Woohoo. But let's look to the television side of things, or on the online streaming side of things, as it were. Young Justice Outsiders. As of today, the 3-episode finale of Young Justice Outsiders is available on the DC Universe digital streaming service. We have a promo trailer that they released for that. Let me play that for you right now. Here we go.
The board is set, the players in position, and we have the inside track on their every move. Monster!
You have no idea what I really am.
This is so modded.
Stay back!
I think not.
So there you have it. That is the promo trailer for the final 3 episodes of Young Justice Outsiders. The 3 episodes are titled Into the Breach, Overwhelmed, and Nevermore. And they're available now, as of today, August 27th, Tuesday, on the DC Universe digital streaming service.
Yeah, I saw, not going to spoil anything for those that are waiting to watch it, but there seemed to be something related to the some of the current comic stuff hinted at the very end of it. So, as I always say, got to catch up. It's never going to happen. So I'm just going to keep saying I'm going to do it, even though it's never going to happen. So.
And Mind the Gap in the comments is saying that this season was much more about the new characters than returning ones. And Mike says that he had a hard time getting invested in this show this year. I guess it is hard if they're picking up on new characters and maybe not as invested in those characters as some of the older characters that you've come to know and love. So that could be an issue. Sadly, I haven't been able to see this season as it doesn't air or screen anywhere here, so I'll have to wait for it to come on Cartoon Network or something like that, or Netflix.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably going to hit your Netflix at some point, since that seems to be where all the DC streaming stuff eventually gets to you. Well, at least it gets to you.
That's true.
The important thing, really.
Yeah. So that's and yes, there is a 4th season of Young Justice in the works. We don't know what it will be titled, Obviously, this third season was titled Young Justice Outsiders. I imagine the fourth season will be Young Justice something else. Not something else, but something else. So we wait for to see what happens with this fourth season of this much beloved animated series that fans won't have to wait a couple of years for the next season, as they did when season 2 ended and petitions and everything happened. This is one show that you won't have to send petitions for.
Petitions, the fans' newest way of trying to get something accomplished.
So, looking elsewhere on the DC Universe service is Titans Season 2, and a new full official trailer was dropped today, and I have that for you right now as well. So let's check that out. Titans Season 2.
You burned the suit, you're not Robin anymore, so what now?
Being Hawk and Dove was dangerous for both of us. I stopped, but if you can't, we're done.
You're asking me to choose between my destiny and you.
Maybe they're the same thing.
I'm so tired.
End your little experiment or I will burn this place down myself.
There's ghosts in this place. Tell them what happened.
Look, I don't take orders from you anymore, man.
Get out of my way.
You're in my way.
Would you do it again? Devote all that time and trouble for someone that just wants to leave?
I would do everything exactly the same.
I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do.
I don't think you have a choice.
You ready for this, Grayson?
Yep.
What is the deal with you and Shimmer, anyway?
Well, first, her name is Shimmer. That's just annoying.
Okay, Crypto. I guess I'm Connor.
Yeah, what the hell is this place, anyway?
This is a place where people like you can learn how to be the best version of who you are.
I hope I haven't broken this place.
Hello, Miss Coriander.
Who else did they send?
Just me. Sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm glad you could make it!
Fight the back, bitches! Slade Wilson is why we shuttered this place. Sooner or later, he'll come knocking.
He's gonna kill how many more now?
Now's the time. Be Batman.
So there you have it. There's the trailer for Season 2 of Titans. And we got a good look at Crypto and Connor there. I'm guessing the naming of Connor seems like he grabs somebody's uniform and looks down and takes the moniker from somebody else. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, overall, actually, I really liked the trailer. I watched it literally right before you called to do this tonight, and you know, it's amazing that the actor who's playing Bruce Wayne looks like Adam West. He's got a little bit of an Adam West vibe to him, and that final line of asking Dick to be Batman. I mean, like, okay, I'll watch. Jeez, I was gonna watch to begin with, but that's a nice tease. It seems like it's going in a slightly different direction this season. Like the last season, the trailer was all about look how edgy and raw we are and violent, and this one is like, no, we actually have a story to tell, which I kind of appreciated that a little more. And you know, I don't know how involved Connor's going to be with like the group. I have a feeling he's going to be one of those things that's on the periphery at the beginning of the season and finally fully joins like towards the end.
Yeah, I get that.
But looks good. Looks really good.
Interesting. I mean, Season 1 ended with a bit of a cliffhanger because, you know, all the heroes are, you know, kind of possessed, if you like, and by Trigon, and now we're seeing the trailer for the rest of the season, so you know they all survive.
You know, Amethyst in the Flash chat, still going to call it that, says, you know, Bruce looks older and he's supposed to be middle-aged, about 45. That would, you know, how long into his career did he get Dick to be Robin? Because it only seems like Dick's about 10 or so years older than he was when he became Robin as a teenager. So if he's like 23, 24, and Bruce is like 45, that means Bruce was like in his early 30s when he became Batman. That's I mean, that's to be fair, the Bruce Wayne of the Michael Keaton films was 35, but that's a little weird. But I wonder how they're gonna. I guess it doesn't really matter. Titans is its own show, so maybe I'm just thinking too hard about this.
Like Mike says in the comments, being Batman ages him.
Yeah, it's like
gotta take its toll.
President of the United States. You know, you look at those guys at the beginning, and you look at those guys at the end, and they're like a shell of a human being.
Yeah, they've all gone grey and balding, except if you've got fake hair. I didn't say that, did I? So moving on, looking at that's the Titans season 2. Looking forward to that. I think was it October 6th. The date was that it will premiere. So it's not far away at all. Now, Superman obviously appeared on the Supergirl TV series. People have been commenting on wanting a new Superman TV series and, you know, not appreciating the version that was on Supergirl. However, there was a deleted scene that was not put into the Elseworlds crossover, but has made it onto the bonus material for the Flash, the complete 5th season DVD and Blu-ray combo packs, which has been released online. I'm going to play that for you here. It's quite an endearing scene, actually. I kind of a bit confused as to other than timing why this wasn't included, because I think it's a great little scene. Check it out.
Wait for it. You stopped running.
Or you overshot.
Maybe. Look, why are we even racing? We should be focused on solving the problem.
Which could take days, maybe even weeks. And if there's an emergency in that time, you're going to be happy you've had a little practice using each other's abilities.
And we need to do it on a farm?
You know, one day when I was a kid, I was out here playing catch with Pa in the yard. He threw one over my head and I went running for it. Just took off like a speeding bullet. Had no idea how I was going so fast, completely out of control. By the time I stopped, I was 10 miles away. It took Mom and Pa all night to find me. Of course, when I got home, I was too afraid to move, let alone run. But the next day, they took me out to this field, and they said, this time, don't just run fast, run toward us.
So you think I need to focus my abilities?
I think you need to focus on what matters.
Let's go again. Please.
So there you have it, the scene with Clark helping Oliver understand the need to focus his abilities, his newfound abilities, because you'll remember at this point in the story of Elseworlds, Oliver has found himself possessing Barry Allen's Speed Force and is, you know, not adept at using those powers as yet. And so in this deleted scene, we see Clark training him on how to focus and, you know, the need to you know, have a particular mindset when, you know, you're using these powers.
Yeah, it's two things. One of them I just noticed because I watched this like yesterday, I believe, because it was, I think we were both tagged on Twitter about it, which is how I found out about it. The first thing is that it's one of those things where there's a certain mindset with a writer who really understands Superman that will write those I remember Ma and Pa scenes, basically. Or Jonathan and Martha. I remember back around like 2004, I said Ma and Pa on a message board, and somebody was just like, it's Jonathan and Martha, because Smallville was so big at the time. And I'm like, okay, I'm old. That's okay. But this is what I want, though. I want them to get Superman beyond that. This is like, okay, you understand he was raised by two people. That's great. Let's get now a Superman that is active, and we can kind of see him applying those lessons without having to do the Ma and Pa story. 2, and I don't know if this is on purpose, but this is a photography thing. When they first showed Tyler when he came running up, the camera on him was kind of like an upshot. It was a little down and up. And I'm wondering if that, and then eventually the camera gets, like level with him. I'm wondering if that's to kind of sneak into the audience's mind that he's taller than he really is. Because they're playing, and I know I harp on this. It's nothing against Tyler Hoechlin. He's 6 feet tall. He's great in the role. But everyone has this perception of Superman being gigantic, right? So, he's tall. He's 6'4". He's got black hair, blue eyes, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, and tells the truth. So I'm wondering if that was kind of like a cheat for the audience, so that when they finally do show him level, you're still in your mind thinking he's really that tall.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I noticed that too. The upshot there, kind of, making him probably look bigger than he is, and they don't actually ever stand them side by side in this particular scene. Oliver obviously overshoots the mark, but he never comes back and stands next to Clark. Always stands exactly where he was, and they always have Clark in the foreground when they are looking at Oliver, so that his presence nearer to the camera. It is an interesting one, but yeah, I like Tyler Hoechlin's portrayal of Clark and Superman. I don't necessarily like, as people are commenting, how they've treated Superman within the Supergirl story and making her better and stronger and everything else, just to try to play that angle, but I like his actual portrayal of the character nevertheless.
Yeah, he's one of those actors that seems extremely comfortable embracing that confidence when he's in the costume, especially. I talked about this in the second season episodes. When he was on the screen, when he was, like when he walked to the DEO, or he was in a scene with Supergirl, it's just like he didn't seem to be uncomfortable in the costume. And this is nothing against Dean Cain, and I think Dean Cain played it this way on purpose because that show is more about Clark anyways.
Yeah.
So it would be that he's a little uncomfortable in the suit. But, with Superman, you want that Christopher Reeve, you want that George Reeves. Even Ralph had it. That kind of quiet, like, I'm here. And I think Christopher Reeve said it, and I think other actors fall in line with this. They let the suit do part of the acting for them. Like if the suit's there and you've got the presence in the suit, you're 50% to where you need to be.
Yeah.
So you just follow that line. And he had such that great dichotomy between Clark and Tyler Hoechlin. He played Clark as a little goofy, but there was that scene with Lena where he turns on a dime and suddenly he's a hard-hitting reporter, and you're like, can we get more of this? Like, can we get like an entire... And everybody's like, he needs a series, and come on, guys, Warner Brothers never gives us what we want. They never do. Even if you liked Man of Steel, you are now not getting what you want. So at some point, Warner Brothers is just going to let you down.
Yeah, we just... we all have our hopes and dreams, and we all, wish for certain things, but you're right, no one ever gets exactly what they want, because no two people, even you and I sitting here as massive Superman fans, have different opinions and different tastes on, what we like to see. So, you can get close, but you're never going to satisfy everybody, or really anybody. So, it is what it is.
But no, I mean, we're going to get to see more of him. We're getting 2 Supermen this December and January. I mean, that has never happened before. I don't think we've even really had except on Smallville is the closest where you had two of them on screen together.
Yeah.
So this is historic. So I'm looking forward to it.
And we'll get to that in the big question segment of our show, where we asked fans for their opinions on Brandon Routh being returning to the role of Superman for the upcoming crossover. But before we get to that, Supergirl, it was like a little 1-minute video clip that was quite interesting. Nothing really meaty to sink your teeth into, but I think it was shot during San Diego Comic-Con. 1-minute video where the cast tried to guess one another's favourite movies, music, and dance moves. So have a look at that. Play that for you right now.
Oh, you guys, you should know. Gosh, guys, do you know me?
Terminator.
Yes, no, mine, not Alex Danvers. Never Story.
It's not this one?
Look what I wrote. Oh, Andrea's like, I don't know.
Every Tupac song. I'm gonna say Stand by Eminem.
What the? Stand?
Are you serious?
Sorry. Yes. Wait, I wasn't done.
You want to stop the entire karaoke bar, you put on Neverending Story, and surprisingly, every karaoke bar you go to will have it on their books.
Yes.
And you
that's right. Yes, this is the only dance step I can do because it's the only one you can do in a corset, and it's this. I have no rhythm, and I obviously don't dance.
So there you have it. A little bit of nonsense there. Kyla Lee liking the Neverending Story, and seems to be the song that Melissa Benoist goes to when she goes to a karaoke bar. Go figure.
What's the song you think I would go for in a karaoke bar?
Michael, what song would Michael go for in a karaoke bar? I have no idea. Let's see if anybody in the comments.
Yeah, let's do that because we're rolling up on the halfway mark. I know we probably have another thing or two to talk about, but yeah, during the break, try to have everybody guess what you and I, not together, by ourselves, would sing in a karaoke bar.
Yeah, I've been to a few karaoke places in my time. Love to sing at a karaoke. You hate karaoke? Come on.
I haven't been in 20 some odd years.
Oh wow.
It's been that long. We did kind of karaoke at a friend's house a couple years ago, but that's not the same as being a bar and getting
in public.
Yeah.
No, I enjoy karaoke. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back on the flip side. We're going to do our monthly segments where we have the big question and the super secret soundbite. And in the break, think about what songs you think Michael and I, separately, would do at a karaoke bar. I'm interested to see what some of the choices will be. We'll be back right after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer. I'm the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Well, fellows and girls, what I have to say will only take a few seconds, but I hope it sticks with you for a long time. It's about cleanliness, being clean in mind as well as in body. Now, believe me when I tell you that a clean mind in a clean body is important to success and happiness in life. For instance, in school, in your social life, and later when you grow up in your business contacts. The quality of the clothes you wear is never as important as the condition of them. In other words, it's never as important to be expensively dressed as it is to be neat and clean. Being neat and clean always leaves a good impression. And a good impression is important to success. Well, the same thing is true of a clean mind. So begin now to develop the habit of being clean in mind and body. Think clean and keep clean. Lack of cleanliness is usually a sign of carelessness, and carelessness indicates laziness. Remember always that carelessness and laziness lead to failure. Start now to prepare for success by thinking clean and being clean.
Carelessness and laziness lead to failure.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Tina mentioned something in the chat about Shyler Lee being in the movie Not Another Teen Movie, which I remember seeing years and years and years ago. I had no idea she was the female lead, the kind of She's All That character opposite Chris Evans. So my mind's kind of blown right now.
So looking at some of the responses, Tina's begging us not to sing. So just for
that's really nice, Tina. Thanks for that. I sang in chorus and I was in musicals, but don't
just for that, I'm going to sing. So we're going to break out into something soon. So having a look, she reckons I'd do something jazzy. Maybe not. Let's see. John wants to know: can you sing in a karaoke bar, Michael? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little out of practice, but I sing in the car a lot, and to homeless people.
In the shower.
In the shower, not with the homeless people in the shower. That would be kind of weird. Still. Well, I did a lot of singing as a teenager and young adult. So.
Yeah, I used to be in a band, play the guitar. I was the lead singer in a band. So.
Really? Did you have like '90s hair?
I did have a mullet.
Awesome.
When I had hair. Mind the Gap says When Doves Cry by Prince. That's pretty hard.
I'm not a big Prince fan.
No, me neither.
Enough. It's nothing against his music. It's like one of those things where I realize he's talented. It just never appealed to me.
Yeah, I was always a Michael Jackson fan. Rob Paul says he hasn't heard Jimmy Olsen's Blues in a long time. That's a good song.
I don't think he can handle this. It's a cloudy day in Metropolis.
Venkman says, knowing you, it'd probably be something from Newsies.
If a bar had music from Newsies in it, I definitely would sing something from Newsies. I think the answer is really going to surprise people.
Okay, so go get Backstreet Boys. John says Backstreet Boys.
Close. I would totally do "You Don't Know You're Beautiful" by One Direction.
What? I would never have guessed that. No way.
I would have so much fun doing that song. And the reason for that is that when I worked at the last place I worked at, that song played constantly for a solid year. And one day, me and another guy just started singing along with it because we were just so inundated with it. And we had all the timing down. So I was just like, yeah, that would be what I would do.
There you go. Well, my usual go-to song for karaoke is either something by the Beatles, or Roy Orbison's "Working for the Man." I'm showing my age.
I will say this: when I went to my college orientation, so this is 25 years ago, I sang John Denver's "Thank God I'm a Country Boy" to karaoke, and here's what surprised me: everyone was into it, and I had no idea why, but I realize now that the movie Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore had come out around that time, and that was something he did during the movie. And I wasn't that crowd, but yeah, that So I could do some Mean John Denver music as well.
There you go. All right, let's get back on track with Superman stuff. And as I said before the break, we're going to do our monthly segments. Let's start off with the big question. Here's our intro for the big question segment.
Let's start with the big question.
Okay, sorry, I had to get up to it because my thing is once again doing that. The big question this month was, what the heck is wrong with my?
Well, let's do what was last month's question was, what do you think of Brandon Routh playing Superman in the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover coming up? Who did we have first up?
Badre Bali wrote, I'm glad he's getting another chance. I personally found his Clark Kent better than his Superman. It didn't help that his return suit made him look like a Superman cosplayer, or more like a Superman cosplayer than the Man of Steel himself. He's improved a lot since then, and playing Kingdom Come Superman will be interesting.
I think so too. Ron Crosby wrote in, he says, in terms of fan service, I love it. But it doesn't make any sense to me. The multiverse should be like how it is with the Council of Wells on The Flash. Same person, different situations, and life choices have made them different on each Earth. But how will Ralph be a human Ray Palmer on one Earth and a Kryptonian Kal-El on another? I get that it's fan service, and as such, I think it's a fun idea. I'm sure I will enjoy the crossover, but this will be bugging me unless they explain it.
You know what I love about
a little
these
too
things?
hard.
No. What I love about these things is that these decisions are fan Rorschach tests.
Right.
They are the thing that you realize that is that person's level. That's their thing. You know, like that's where they stop and they can't go anymore. Billy Hogan writes, I'm glad that Brandon has gotten a second chance to portray the Man of Steel. While Superman Returns is not my favorite Superman film, he was the perfect Man of Steel at the time. The problem was, much like Henry Cavill, Ralph wasn't given the best material to work with. He was further hamstrung by basically having to play Christopher Reeve playing Superman to a large extent, and a little editorial, I totally agree with that. Hopefully this time he'll be able to stretch his acting chops and play the Man of Steel on his own terms.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he does with the character given some free reign, not to, like you said, replicate what has been done previously. Stephen Marshall wrote in, he says, it doesn't really make logical sense based on the logic of the multiverse concept that's been set up in the Arrowverse. Why would a Kryptonian on another Earth look exactly like a human on another? I soon got over that though, and I'm excited to see Brandon get another shot at the role. When I heard he would be playing a Kingdom Come style version, I got even more excited. Let's just hope they don't Flash 1990 him and get rid of him after a few scenes with nobody reacting. Good point.
I think what that should be is nobody reacting on the screen, because I remember me screaming expletives at the television because I was just so mad. Douglas Reacham wrote, really awesome! You're welcome, Mike. We will finally get to see Brandon do a version of Superman that he can make his own versus trying to depict a previous version. This is beginning to be a thing. And being a veteran of the role, it is very fitting that he's taking on the Kingdom Come version. P.S. I loved Alex Ross's sketch of him in the outfit.
Yes, if you'd missed it, that was posted online. A lot of people have done different artist impressions now. Fans alike have done some Brandon Routh in the Kingdom Come costume to kind of... you can probably find them on Heroic Hollywood. That's what they do. John Patrick Van Pelt wrote in. He says, I'm excited for Brandon Routh playing Superman in the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover this year. And one I noticed, I can't believe it's been 13 years since Superman Returns was in theatres, which was the last time he played that role. And this will be the first time on TV alongside Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch, who is bringing a surprise for everyone, which hasn't been done since the days of Lois and Clark and the New Adventures of Superman went off the air in 1997. Yes, the baby.
Patrick O'Neill writes, I think it's awesome that Brandon will be playing Superman again. Really looking forward to the crossover episodes. The only thing I would have preferred is that he was playing the Superman from Superman Returns. I think it would have been a cool way to tie in Brandon's Superman and his current Ray Palmer character. But regardless, I'm very excited for the show and happy for Brandon that he gets to be Superman one more time. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work. And,
Thank you, Patrick.
I wonder, because Warner Brothers is so weird, if there's a rights issue. If there's like that version of Superman is like under like the thing, because that was co-produced with Legendary Pictures. And now DC or Warner Brothers isn't working with them anymore.
That's right.
So, that's just a weird question I had, I guess. But
I'm sure there'll be some nod to Superman Returns in there. There's got to be.
Yeah. I mean, there was all over Smallville, so they kept using that costume.
Yeah, that's right. So, the new big question for this month is... How do you feel about Krypton being cancelled? We just saw season 2's finale, a couple of weeks back. Now we know that it's not coming back. How does that make you feel? Were you looking forward to a third season, or do you think that it lived its time? Get involved with the Big Question segment of our show. You'll find the Big Question feedback form under the contact menu at the Superman homepage website, and we will read out the responses that we get when we return in October. We won't be able to do the end of September like we would normally do, so we'll get to that in early October.
So you got plenty of time to think of your answer.
Yes. All right, let's move on to the super secret soundbite segment of our show, and I'll play our intro right now. Here we go.
The one thing alive with less than 4 legs can hear this frequency, Superman, and that's you.
Darn it. I am a terrible co-host tonight, but give me a second.
You're missing your cues.
I am missing my cues, but we had 2 people guessed the sound, and I'm going to tell you right now, if one of these guys hadn't, I would have taken away his podcasting card.
Okay, well...
the 2 people that guessed it correctly were Mike Zumo and Patrick O'Neill.
And let's play the sound again right now so people can hear what it was.
But even this baby, the queer machine that brought it here, where did they come from?
Yes, that was from the 1948 Superman serial, which obviously starred Kirk Allen, but that was it Mary Kent in those days? Not Martha, I think it might have been Eben and Mary.
I think it was John and Mary. Sarah and Eben came along later.
She says Eben in this, so...
So it must be Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah and okay. So that was the Ma Kent talking to Eben Kent about the rocket and the baby that they've just found in the very first episode, or maybe it was the second episode of the serial.
Yeah, I think it was, because the first one I think it was all about Krypton.
Yeah.
And then you had Kirk Allen, God love him. Man, he was wooden in that first chapter. Just
took him a while to get into the part.
It really did. Nothing against it, because I like the first one a lot better than I like the second serial.
Okay.
And now Mike Zumo is going to start arguing with me.
So if you haven't, and this is growing up, I was into Superman, obviously, the Christopher Reeve movies, the Super Friends cartoons, the Fleischer cartoons, but the Superman serial starring Kirk Allen really didn't register on my radar until the internet, came about, and I started looking up stuff about Superman and getting into it that way. That obviously the 1950s George Reeves TV series is well documented amongst Superman fans, but the serials really don't get the love or attention that they possibly deserve. So if you haven't checked them out, they are available on DVD from Warner Brothers on Amazon. Just go to the Superman homepage, online shopping page, and check out the 2 serials. One from 1948 titled Superman, and the other one from 1950 titled Superman. Is it Spider Lady?
It was Atom Man
versus Superman, but the Spider Lady was from the first. Serial. That's right.
Mike in the Flash chat did correct us. It was the first episode. I was thinking of the radio show that the first episode takes all the way on Krypton. Yeah, it was the first episode, as Zumo points out, is Superman saving the train after saying the most unconvincing "this is a job for Superman" in Superman history.
There you go. So
Superman.
It's probably been about 15 years since I've seen the serials now. I should go back and rewatch them.
Yeah, it was interesting. In '88, here in the States, Warner Brothers released them on a 2 VHS set. And I remember picking those up, and that was the first time I got to see them, and then they released the DVD set. But yeah, it was around '88 that started kind of creeping back into the fandom a little bit, because it was then available for people to actually watch instead of just, kind of talk about.
So Superman 1948 and Atom Man vs. Superman from 1950. Check them out. But here is the new super secret soundbite for this month. See if you can guess where in the world of Superman this sound comes from. It might be a little bit low volume, so you might have to pump up your volume. That's really low. Apologise for that. That's super low volume. You might have to replay the show and pump it up. I can't, as we speak, kind of do anything about that. I tried to pump it up there and then. But if you think you know where, and you've got super hearing, where in the world of Superman that sound came from, then head to the Superman homepage website. Under the contact menu, you will find the super secret soundbite entry form. Each person who guesses it right will have their name read out here on our show, and we return in the beginning of October. Again, apologies for the level of sound on that. But
that graphic has never been more appropriate.
Yeah.
What?
You're really going to have good hearing to hear that one. Again, I apologise. If I can, I will try to get it up by the end of the show. So, but let's move on to the comic book side of things, where the Superman Year 1 number 2 comic book came out. Geez, these are super long reads. I'm sitting there on my iPad, reading them and forgetting just how supersized they are. The story just goes on and on and on. And this was an interesting one. This is really, everyone says, why do we need a new origin story? And, especially why do we need Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. working on it? But this was somewhat entertaining. I found the whole army part of it, I found the whole Atlantis part of it a real difference to anything we've ever seen before in a Superman origin story.
So answer my question, because I did pick it up, but I didn't have a chance to read it because of everything going on. Is this like a new take on Lori Lamaris?
Yes.
Because I was leafing through it. Okay, I looked at it. I'm like, okay, that's almost worth it to kind of do a new take on that. Because I was sitting there in the comic shop leafing through it, and I saw the Atlantean thing. And my wife's standing next to me. I'm like, is this a new take on Lori Lamaris? And my wife starts laughing, because the first time I told her about Lori Lamaris's, Superman's mermaid ex-girlfriend, she honestly thought I was messing with her. Like, they would never do a mermaid girlfriend. But I'm like, nope, that was a thing. It was a different time. It was college. Everyone was experimenting.
So, this is a real different take on Superman's early days as Clark Kent, finding himself going out into the world, joining the army, and then his exploration of the ocean, and the fact that he can breathe underwater, that's a bit weird. But I guess it fit for what they wanted to tell this story, to have him be able to have adventures with Lori Lamaris in Atlantis rather than her coming to the surface. But yeah, if you can get over that, it's an interesting story, and the artwork is still a bit on the grading side. I really don't see much value in JRJR's artwork. I just think that it's really hard to look at, but the story itself was an interesting one, and I think it's well worth picking up.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten so many other origins. Now it's just like, yeah, what do you got? I mean, I can't get upset about them anymore, because they've just done so many that it's just like, they've done so many that it's just like, okay, what parts of this do I like? Because I really did like the first issue, except that scene. So I was just like, if we're going to do something where it seems like from this, and again, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it was just kind of, you should be able to tell something about a comic by just glancing at the artwork because of how the medium is set up. But it just seems to me like it was just this different thing of a young Clark considering a different life. And in the first issue, he always said, that the ocean is calling me. So maybe and Superman breathing underwater, couldn't he do that in the Silver and Bronze Age? I mean,
He could do anything those days.
Yeah. So there you go.
So we'll look ahead to what is out this week and in the world of Superman comic books, and it's a bumper week because there was a delay on the Superman title. So let's check out what we have coming up this week. We have the first issue of Batman Superman, the new ongoing series that is available in obviously the connecting Superman and Batman covers. There's also this standard, if you like, variant cover. There is a blank cover, so you can get an artist to draw something on. But there's a number of, as they do with first issues these days, exclusive variant covers to certain comic book stores. I haven't gone out and documented them all this time around, but these are some of them that you're seeing on your screen now, including this one here that is a sideways cover that you have to kind of turn, I guess, 90 degrees. But an interesting look at Supergirl and Batwoman there. I don't know how much involvement they have in the story. But also this week there is Action Comics number 1014. We also have a variant cover for that, which is was making up part of the background of the Superman homepage website. Just changed that background today. Also out this week is Justice League number 30. The Justice Doom War Begins, and that is also available in that variant cover there. And as I mentioned, Superman number 14 was delayed a couple of weeks. That is available out this week as well, and is available in this Crypto variant cover. So that's out this week. Also out this week is this trade paperback of brand new material, Superman of Smallville, by Art Baltazar and Franco, a graphic novel from the New York Times best-selling creators of Tiny Titans. That's out this week. And then there's the Injustice 2 Volume 5 trade paperback, also out this week, August 28th. So a lot to get through in that purchase.
I'm calling complete shenanigans on that Batwoman Supergirl cover. That was just, there's no reason for that. Come on. Really? Seriously? And yeah, guys, cool it with the college football talk. Good Lord, you get nothing will cause people to argue more than college football here in the United States. I mean, seriously, these people will kill each other over their favorite teams.
I guess we've sidetracked with the karaoke talk earlier, so it's just one of those nights.
Yeah, well, no, it's the season ender. We're having a
That's
we're
right,
having a fun
mid-season
time
break.
as we're wrapping things up. You know, we're all tired. We need a month off. You're going to Europe. I'm gonna run a gauntlet. It's gonna be fun.
Yes. Now, Shia Fontana, who has written a number of DC Superhero Girls animated shorts, episodes, and graphic novels, as well as written for Justice League, Wonder Woman, and other books for DC Comics. She announced this week that she has a new book, a hardcover publication, coming out titled DC Women of Action. There is the cover there. She wrote, it will be out this fall, featuring 50 plus profiles of female characters and women behind the scenes, plus lots of new art and interviews from women and non-binary creators. It says, for decades, superheroes have inspired us to reach new heights, find strength in adversity, and access our inner power. This gorgeously illustrated collection tracks this progress, profiling the fiercest, strongest, and most independent female superheroes and supervillains in the DC universe, along with the real-life women integral to their development. Featuring Wonder Woman, Lois Lane, Batgirl, Bumblebee, Hawkgirl, Black Canary, Amanda Waller, and many more, this lush volume is a vivid celebration of the amazing, inspirational women of DC. And it will be out October 22nd.
That sounds like a really neat book. I like that idea. You know, celebrating the characters and the creators. That's kind of need that now, I think.
Yeah,
In all
it's a
honesty.
great concept. And it's 176 pages from Chronicle Books, and you can pre-order it now through the Superman homepage. Just head to our website and find the link. And as I said, it will be released on October 22nd, so just under 2 months away.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, that's a busy week for us as Superman
yes, there's a lot
fans.
coming out that week, and us returning. But in October. But this was an interesting one. It kept popping up on my Facebook. You know, the ads. It just seems to, whatever you talk about, seems to all of a sudden, your conversations. I reckon it doesn't happen, but I'm telling you, it does. Everything you talk about, your phones pick up on, and the next thing you know, you're scrolling through your Facebook feed, and there's an ad for this, that, and the other. I mean, one day I was having a chat to somebody just about something like artificial limbs, and all of a sudden I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there comes an ad for, wouldn't you know it, prosthetics. It's like, what? I don't know. It's weird. That's technology for you. But
That is very true.
Spriggy is an app that's available here in Australia for parents to teach kids about spending money. So it's not just an online, simple prepaid card or a online bank account. It's a tool that you help kids practice, practical experience with spending and earning money and saving money, all under a parent's watchful eye. And the attached card that you get with it is available now in DC Comics versions. There's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. And the personalized prepaid card is available to order with the Spriggy app. And it seems like a kind of nifty 21st century idea about how to teach kids about, proper spending and earning and saving and all that kind of stuff, and it's all done through an app that your parents can keep a watchful eye over.
And I'm sure when they were coming up with these cards, they had all the artwork all settled out, and they go, "We got our Superman cards," and then the next day they found out that the trunks were coming back.
Too late.
Or unless this Superman is more of the animated movies now, since it's just catching up with that. So those are neat. I would love to have, I know Marvel recently once again started having credit cards where you can have the characters on it, and DC is offering one with the bat symbol, or Warner Brothers is, and so you can actually have the prop from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, we spoke about a couple of weeks ago where you can actually now have a Superman one as well. So it's really cool that they have these available. I mean, everyone's using credit cards these days. Cash is, something nearly gone of the past. So, cool idea for kids to get involved with learning about earning, saving, and spending. But we are done for tonight's program. It's just flown by. The hour has just gone like that, like a speeding bullet. But yes, we are on a break for a month. We will be back on October 1st. But before then, we want to thank everyone for watching tonight's show, being part of tonight's show, everyone in the YouTube comments there. We appreciate your involvement. And to you, my co-host, Michael Bailey, thanks for tonight. Enjoy Dragon Con and enjoy the time off.
You enjoy your vacation too, Steve.
Thank you very much. Well, before we finish off, don't forget that tonight's show is available on our website and our YouTube channel. If you want to watch it back in full or you missed part of the show, you'll be able to do that via our website and YouTube channel. A huge thank you to our sponsor and patron, Douglas Meacham. And remember, if you want to sponsor the Superman homepage, you can do so for as little as $1. Just head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. But as I said, we'll be back in 1 month on Tuesday, October 1st at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another edition of WGBS TV Live. Look forward to talking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.